What's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're cooking up a date night recipe. Valentine's Day is coming up, so you know I had to hook you up. Whether you're having a date night in with your spouse, or even if you're single this year and simply want to love on you, this easy and quick recipe is sure to lift your spirits. So alrighty guys, let's get into it. Alright guys, so today we are making a colossal Cajun shrimp with yellow rice recipe. I'm snatching this from my Effortless Cookbook that I'm going to include in the description below, and it is basically 30 made from scratch recipes that are simple and easy to make and that will wow the socks off of you or any of your guests. A little bit about me: I love to cook. I love to cook. I've actually been cooking for my friends and probably bad potential dating partners since college, and even now to this day in my friend group, my family, my house is a part of Friendsgiving where we're cooking all the foods and doing all the things. So for your ingredients, you're going to need colossal shrimp, cilantro chopped, blackened Creole seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, Italian seasoning, butter, and yellow rice of your choice. Alright guys, so before we start, we've got to prep. So the first thing you want to do is remove the tails from the shrimp. Go ahead and just do it right now. One of the things I hate when I'm at a restaurant is when they serve you this great shrimp meal and the tails are on it. It's like, why are you making this so difficult for me? I just want to get in, get my hands dirty, and get to it. So just go ahead and remove it right now. The second thing you want to do is make sure you make your shrimp soak in water and vinegar or lime juice, whichever suits your fancy, and just allow it to kind of clean the shrimp a little bit, and then you're going to rinse and drain. All right guys, so I got my shrimp and my other ingredients. This is going to be so fast and easy to do. You're going to be like, what? How quick was that? Seriously. Listen, the girls don't like to cook anyway these days, so they're like, if I'm gonna cook, it needs to be quick and easy. So I'm gonna hook you up with that. All right, so my shrimp, it is drained and rinsed like I told you before, and I got my seasonings and ingredients that I showed you earlier in this video. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my blackened seasoning, I'm gonna take my Creole seasoning, you can add Cajun seasoning if you like, I'm gonna take my black pepper, I'm gonna take my onion powder, I'm gonna take my garlic powder and Italian seasoning, and I'm just gonna, and my cilantro, don't forget the cilantro, and I'm just gonna put it all in the shrimp and marinate it and allow it to sit. That quick, that easy. Two things I want to note here. Number one, the reason why you don't see salt here is because a lot of times blackened seasonings and Cajun seasonings, they're really high in sodium, so you don't want to overdo it, overkill, so you don't really need salt here. Number two, you're gonna see me use my hands in this video. My hands are clean, my hands are washed, and it's my house, so it's all good. All right guys, so let's get to it. I'm gonna start by putting my cilantro in here. Just make sure I get all that in with the cutting board. It's already been washed and chopped as well, as you can see. And then I'm gonna start off with the Creole seasoning. Again, you don't have to overkill, but also we like flavor, so you know, do the damn thing. All right, I'm gonna take my blackened season next. Here, I really like flavor, so listen, get into it. I'm gonna put my black pepper next, and I like to use the restaurant style, the coarse style. Bless me. Onion powder next, garlic powder next, and Italian seasoning. Uh-oh. That is a seasoning cough. That is not a COVID cough, okay? You know how the people be these days with the COVID. All right, so now I'm gonna just mix this up here. And you know what? I'm gonna go back in a little bit with the Creole and blackened seasoning, just because I needed to give what it's supposed to give. And then, like I said, we are going to allow this to sit. Sit. Take your coat off. Stay a while. Stay a while. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. Guys, we are about to get into the rice. Something I forgot to record was how much water to put into the pot. So after you put the yellow rice into the pot, you want to fill the pot with water right above the rice, maybe like a finger inch above, and then you add your butter and all the stuff that you're going to hear me say in the other video. This is a super important step. If you don't put any water in the rice, you can't cook the rice, and you don't want to put no water on rice with heat under it. I don't want it to burn for you. Okay, so hope that makes sense. Sorry I didn't include it, but I had to make sure that I put it in there because I'm trying to look out for y'all. All right, guys, so while the shrimp is sitting, we are going to move on to the rice. One, because we want to make sure that flavor gets in there and soaks in there while it marinates. And two, because everybody knows that when you cook shrimp, it's pretty much the fastest thing to cook. It takes 5 minutes or less. So let's just move on to the rice because it's going to take a longer bit of time. So we're making rice, and we're cooking rice from scratch, not a rice cooker. This is the only way I know how to make it, and so this is how we're going to cook it, and I'm going to do my best to show you how I do that here. So we're doing yellow rice, so let me just preface this by saying that if this was white rice, I would do my process a little bit differently. I would have shown you how I washed the rice, and then I would have put salt into this mixture as well. However, we're doing yellow rice, and a lot of times, you know, you have the yellow kind of seasoning in the packet, and so I don't necessarily wash it this go around because I don't want to rinse all of the seasoning out of it. And then I also don't include salt because, again, the yellow rice seasoning usually has a lot of sodium in it, and you don't want to overkill. So in this scenario, whether I'm doing white rice or yellow rice, I always include butter, so salt and butter, or in this case just butter because it already has a lot of salt in it. And then I'm going to put the fire on high, and I'm going to grab the lid, and I'm going to half cover it. And so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it alone until it gets to the point where it's kind of what's the right word, I guess, soaking up all of the water and it's almost dry, and then I will come back and give you some more instructions. Another thing I want to note, I'm leaving it alone. I kind of know when to come back to it because I cook and because, you know, I've done this many times. But if you're new to cooking, just watch it, maybe come by every 2 to 3 minutes and just look and see, because again, if you're waiting until the water to kind of dry out before you do your next steps, you don't want it to dry out and burn, and you know, or just become too dry before you even started. So I'm saying leave it alone, and I am going to do that. But if you're new to cooking, just watch it closely. Watch it more closely than an experienced person would be, because you don't want to mess it up, especially not on date night. All right, guys, so the rice is at a point where the water is drying up, and so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of stir it around, which I already did, but I'll do it for you again. So I'll stir it around. I'm going to take a cup with water and just kind of lightly pour it around here. That's it, just enough, and kind of stir it in so it can moisturize it. And then I'm going to put the heat on low. I'm going to put the heat on low, stir it up again, and I'm going to take the lid this time and cover it completely. And after I do this, I'm going to leave it and then come back and forth again and just kind of watch it. Put water in it as much as I need to so that it can get moist, not too much because you don't want soggy, mushy rice. But you're just going to do it periodically over time and kind of leave it. You're going to keep stirring it, and you're just going to keep doing that until the rice is the way you like it. All right, guys, so my rice is at a good enough spot. It's almost done. Still has to steam a little bit, but for the most part it's done. So we're gonna move on to the shrimp here. Shrimp is marinated and ready to go. I am just putting a pot on high just so that the water can drain out. I usually always rinse off my pots. And then I'm going to put oil and butter in here before I add the shrimp. I would also put minced garlic in here, but I don't have any today. I ran out. And so, no problem. Most of the seasonings that you need are already in the bowl. So I'm going to let this dry out, and then I'll come back with a closer view shot of how I actually make the shrimp. Alright guys, so I put oil. I use grapeseed oil, and I also put some butter into the pan like you see here. Now I'm going to put the shrimp in. I also put the fire back on medium because it does not need to be that high to cook shrimp. And so I just put everything in there and just kind of make sure all the shrimp have an even coating in the pan. And then I am going to leave this on for about 4 to 5 minutes for each side. Then I'm gonna flip them over and then the shrimp are done. Easy, quick. I told you it was gonna be so quick. You're gonna be like, what? So yes, just leave them on for 5 minutes and then flip them over on the other side for another 5 minutes and then you're done. So now you are all done, and so with that, it's time for presentation. You finish with the meal and it's time to show and prove, show what you did. Say, look, I got this, I can cook. So whether this is for your spouse or if it's for yourself, I know you probably went to a restaurant and got a nice meal and you're like, how did they bring the rice back so cute and round? You may have seen this before, but if you haven't, put it in a smaller bowl. This bowl is actually probably a little bit too big, so it might be a little sloppy, bear with me. But you do this, you put it in a smaller little bowl like this, you pack it, and then you just simply, you can flip it if you want and do it that way. Much better, see? Got it, and it's a nice little circle area. You could push it around in the middle. And depending on the shape of the smaller bowl you use is going to be depending on what the form looks like once you flip it over, obviously. All right, and then put this here, and then you simply just put your shrimp on top of it. You can add gravy as you like, or you can pair this with vegetables if you like, or whatever you want. That's kind of up to you. But it's a nice little meal. I'm gonna put little zhoosh on it. Yeah, it's a nice little meal to say, hey, I love you. I was thinking about you. Happy Valentine's Day. I love myself. I was thinking about myself. I love you, hubby. I was thinking about you. And that could be a great meal for a date night. So we have one last step and then we are done for the day. So it's Valentine's Day, it's date night, and that means we need to set the mood. So in addition to our lovely meal, we need to pair it with a great wine. So today we are using a sweet Riesling from Chateau Michel. I knew I wanted to pair this with a white. Most people say pair fishes with white wines, but I don't necessarily have a preference, but today I was going for white. And so I saw this as I was looking for a white wine. I don't usually do Riesling, but I saw a sweet Riesling, which I've never seen before. And I thought it would be great to try. So after you make your wonderful meal, go ahead and grab you a wine glass. And this will be a great top off to your dinner. And you guys are done. What a wonderful date night. Hope you enjoyed this. Try this. If you try this, tell me, did you like it? Drop that in the comments. Do you have any other recipes you want me to try, or other recipes that you like, shrimp recipes that you want to share in the comments? Go for it. You know we gotta do a taste test. Delicioso. Thank you so much for rocking out with me, and can't wait for you to enjoy my next video. The sweet Riesling is good, especially if you like sweet wines. Enjoy, guys. Happy Valentine's Day or date night day. Bye.